Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman, Grand Rising Damu's Keyways and Essays. This man, we got to continue to build on these relationships, and how we continue to do that is we start narrating our own stories. A lot of people may not agree with me on my particular narration, but here are the hard facts. Far too long have we allowed the West, the media, and Western cultural society to narrate our stories. They call us undesirables. They call us super predators. They call us gang members, and they defined us. You know what I mean? And this is something that's been going on since the time of our arrival. You know what I mean? You know, when they first brought it here, they called us slaves. They called us niggers. They called us the Negroes, the black. That's not who we are. That's not who we are at all. Let me explain. If you take a tiger from Africa and bring it to the United States, is it not still a tiger? It even gets deeper than that. Even with our brothers, with our essay brothers, you know what I mean? Because they come from Aztec, Mayas, Incas that were conquered by Cortez, who gave them a definition. Started calling them Mexicans, Guatemalans, El Salvadorians, you know what I mean? But they come from a history and a language that was not necessarily based in Hispanic or Spanish. You understand? So what happened is that not before the 1500s. Before the 1500s, there was no such thing as a Mexican. You know, it wasn't until the Spaniards conquered the Aztecs, Mayas, and the Incas, and all these things came about. But coming back to the brothers, Damu's Keyways, you guys have been misappropriated. You have been mislabeled, misidentified, and now you're comfortable with calling yourself nigga. Still, you have been misidentified because we come from kingdoms and complex architect. We come from the hieroglyphs. We come from things that where our spirits, our movement, our music speaks volumes. We created the mathematics, we created the science, the biology, the chemistry, and the physics of the world. And yet, you allow the Western culture or the European man to call you, they call you niggas, black, Negro, and some other names, you know what I mean? And now you call yourself nigga. We got to get out of that, man. You know, we're greater people than that, and we can't allow these people to keep coming up with these definitions, you know. Again, we come from kingdoms and complex architects, like our brown counterparts. They could also come from their kingdoms and complex architect. You know what I'm saying? There's writings on the walls down there in Mexico that go back thousands and thousands of years, as well as in Africa that go back thousands and thousands and thousands of years. The European man came out the Caucasus Mountains. You understand? So how do we address these issues? You know what I mean? Because now let's get back to the relationship part, because the relationship we have through our music has been distorted of late. You know what I mean? Because now we're dealing with a form of hip hop that is talk about our women, talk about everything under our underclothes and everything, and now the women themselves are even catering to this stuff. You know what I mean? Like they really enjoy it. You know what I mean? You know, how far down the rabbit hole must we go before we recognize that God created us in many shades, colors, hues, shapes, and sizes? Not that we despise each other, but that we recognize one another. You understand? Difference don't mean deficient. It's just different. You know, we can't continue to allow the Western culture to define us in a way that's not becoming, that's not uplifting, that's not motivating to us as a people, you know. And we sit back and just accept it because they the ones that call us Muslims, they call us Christians, you know what I mean? Or you call yourself that, you know. But you did not come here with that, you know what I mean? That was something that you picked up solely when you arrived to the shores of the wilderness of North America, and you started to adapt all these things that were superficial to you, who you were. We're a spiritual people. We don't follow theology. We come from theosophy. Theosophy is the God that's within you. Theology is where you're looking for God. You don't have to look for God. Don't continue to allow these people to tell you what God is and what God is not. If the universe can't be measured, if the universe is infinite, how in the hell do you think you can measure God with one simple book? Everything you know about God came from another man. Let's get back to this wokeism, man. Wokeism is weird, you know. We got to get back to the wokeism. Damus and Kiawes and essays, you guys have a great deal more in common than you do not in common. Let's continue to build. Let's continue to communicate. Let's continue to build relationship. Like all the relationships I built through my life, whether it was Damu, Kiawe, or essay, you know what I mean? I got a homeboy named Wedo, you know what I mean? I'm hoping to catch up with Wedo, man, and we're going to sit down and we're going to talk, man. Me and Wedo, you know. Wedo, you're going to like Wedo, you know. He's very good. You know, essay, man, very cool person. My homie Juju, you know. My homie Rab, you know. All essays, you know. And I just want to sit down with them and have a conversation with them about, you know, what is their perspective on the state of our people, you know, especially in the CPT, you know what I mean? And across the world, whether it's in New York, whether it's in Texas, Tennessee, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you know, Ohio, just to name a few. AZ, of course, you know, Las Vegas, just to name a few. You know, so we got to get back to where we continue to build that commonality. You know, it's important. That's how rapport is, man. Rapport is a continuance of commonality. It's a continuance where you mirror and match one another, where you get familiarized with a person, you know. You understand where they're coming from. You understand who they are as an individual. And if they give you one of them funny names, know that that's an interpretation of the character which the name is coming from. Somebody introduced themselves as blow up, can't get right, knucklehead, dumb. You have to take their word for it because they introduced themselves as that. Somebody introduced themselves as Michael Johnson. Now you can respect that because that man is in charge of who he is. Even though he's got a European name, but that don't mean he don't have wokeism. You understand? So that's what we need to get back to is the wokeism. You know what I mean? And not be so ready to stick labels on them. You know what I mean? Because every time I find somebody that is either Christian, Muslim, Hebrew, Israelite, whatever religion they follow, and you say something about their circumference of awareness, in other words, they circle of knowledge, the first thing they do is start defending the Christian or defending the Muslim or defending the Hebrew instead of receiving the information and understand that the information that I'm giving is correct because the truth is distinctive. Facts can be changed. Know that. Okay? So when you hear the truth, it vibrates within your soul and your system. You understand that it is the truth. But due to the fact that people have instilled in you indoctrination due to the Christianity, the Muslim, or the Hebrew Israelite, you start defending that versus receiving the information because the fear kicks in. You know what I mean? It's all fear because you locked in the jaw of a like a shark or alligator based on the religion, because you believe that somehow the devil is going to come attack. You know, the devil, heaven and earth is right here. Heaven and hell is right here. If you living good, you in heaven. If you living bad, you in hell. It's not a physical place. It's a state of being. But, you know, we will continue on the relationship part throughout my stories, and hopefully I'm giving enlightenment, I'm restoring, I'm increasing you in intellect, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, because that is my goal, to purify the heart and purify the mind. And know this, man, you are life, you are light, you are love, you are beauty, you are the sweet truth, and I am my joyful thoughts. Professor Melly Mill, the hooditician, the hood journalist, the hood postman. Remember, click the bell for the notifications. Leave comments and press them thumbs up. And if you don't like me, press thumbs down. I'll receive it all. And some of your comments I will comment back. Some I may not, depending on what you're saying. But you guys enjoy your morning. Grand rising to you. Damu's Kiawe's and Essays. And retweet that vibe. Professor Melly Bell, I'm out.